Hello again, welcome back. Glad to see you, my friend. I'm Wayne Scherer, coming from my home office in Washington, D.C. Nice to be with you again, and I hope you watched the previous two newsletter editions because this is kind of like the advanced conclusion. All right, so this will be the final guidance that will show you that if you really want to end your drudgery in your job and you want to create the security on your own in your own life, you want to create the wealth of from that you can achieve from building your own business and your own success and doing it with affiliate marketing and multi-level marketing or network marketing, whichever you want to call it, then you definitely want to watch this so you get a full understanding about where you're going and what will actually make this happen for you. Okay, so we're going to do something a little advanced. I'm going to call it connecting the cues, and you'll see why as we go through. It's something I learned from a very interesting man and publisher and all kinds of other things he does, Don Allen Rekow, and he calls it's based on his concept cue mastery. I'm going to do a terrible job of reproducing it, but it's going to be good enough to bring about a framework that you can understand on how and why we're going to achieve it, or maybe why you won't achieve success. But that's not what we're after. We're after why you will achieve success. So this is the process of success. That excites me. Success in the network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing, and why it matters to you. Okay, so you ready to go? Let's get rolling with this. First, we're going to bypass that. And so there's a big myth out there, right? That you can do this on your own, and all you need is a computer and an hour, or myths that run around these ideas. And it is possible once you figure out how to do things to execute that. But I'll show you why. 99% of people cannot do this way, and you're going to understand that when we're done, because you already heard me in the previous newsletter video that you really have to be serious about this, that you have to treat this as a business, and it's not going to happen overnight. And if you're ready to treat it that way, then you'll be able to do it. You can make thousands by the end of the month. Another myth. Of course, it's not a total myth. You can. People do. Some people do. But they don't tell you what went into it when they tell you these stories. And that's what you're missing out. You can bet when you hear your next story on the next video how a guy went from nothing to something overnight, that there's more to it. And there's a whole lot more behind it than just that nothing to something. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you here. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at the concept of cue, connecting the cues. All right, that's a diagram if there ever was one. What does it all mean? Well, as my friend Don Allen Rekow told me, that the bottom line is the whole success process. Actually, any process you do can be frameworked by dividing it into 4 quarters, and they all start the same. And in the green represents making progress, and the red represents returning back to where you were, returning back to the poor state. So in this case, we are talking about making money. You want to make money, right? You want to make money. You want to improve your financial situation. You want to increase your security. You want to get away from your job. You don't want to be dependent on another company for your welfare. You don't want to be dependent on a government to help you. You want to be able to know you're standing on your feet, create a legacy, send your kids to college, go travel when you want, buy the house you want, buy the boat you want, buy whatever it is you want. As I've talked to you before, success is whatever you define it. What you get from it is however you define it. I get helping other people succeed. I love that. I get to go travel. I love that. I don't really care about boats, cars, and houses, but that's me. That's my success. You define yours, all right? But how do you get there? And it's by the cues, all right? So Q1 right here in the upper right side. This is where like everyone starts, you know. This is that steady state of non-achievement. And actually, everybody doesn't necessarily start here. Some may have moved from Q1 to Q2, and some haven't. But most, if you're in a job and it's really not advancing you anywhere, then you're in the Q1. You're in that steady state. You're comfortable there because you know how to maneuver within there, but you want to get to a growth stage, to a freedom stage, to a total independence lifestyle wealth stage. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. You want to move from these, but you see, you're going to see there's one thing that's absolutely true here, and that's you cannot go from Q1 to Q4. You can't do that. This is like, you know, some massive wall that just simply cannot be done. Where's the proof of that? Okay, well, you ever read any of the stories about people winning the lottery? What happens, right? When they win the lottery, they go from this not necessarily unsuccessful, but this steady state of no progress right here, and they jump over to this state where you might have where if somebody who's been through this whole process had received what they received, it would have just added to their wealth and their influence and their ability to achieve for others and their ability to serve. But for the person who skipped all of this, what is the standard story? Okay, with rare exception, there's always exceptions to the rule, but with rare exception, what happens is they get here and they progressively move back to here, right? There's even stories as dramatic as people committing suicide and things like that as a result of winning the lottery, which is supposed to be, you know, change your life, right? Well, it changed their life, but it didn't work jumping across this boundary from Q1 to Q4. They skipped these progressions here. These progressions are necessary. And that's what you're asking to do when you when you try to do, you know, make thousands by the end of the month. You're literally asking to go from here to there without doing anything in between. And I can assure you that's why 99% of the failures occur, because they didn't do that. Now, of course, there's other stories about why people ended up back here. But if they went through this process and then then at some point they go back here, well, guess what? They actually know how to do this again, and they will get back to Q4. Okay, the prosperity stage, the total freedom, the influencer, the life changers for other people. That's these people right here. How many people in the world end up there in reality? About 2%. Now, is it because everything is unfair? Well, now let's look at this from a political perspective, just for the sake of it, okay? So, what in the political world, here's what these things would be. Q1, this would be communism. Let's see if I spelled that right when I couldn't see it. All right. I don't know. There we go. Communism, right? In the political world, Q2, oops, let me get my typer back up here. This would be socialism, okay? And I'll explain this in a second. It's going to be kind of hard for you to argue with. Not purposely, but naturally. It's just the way it is. And this would be capitalism. Okay? And you notice capitalism is not here in Q4. Capitalism is just provides you that way to move. But here's what happens, right? communism. Communism is based on everybody having exactly the same thing, except for those that are dictating how you're going to live, right? The reality there was even the people under communism who were dictating to the masses how they were going to live did not have what people in capitalism were able to achieve in the Q4 range because of capitalism, okay? Even the leaders of communism could not achieve that. And as we've seen, communism has fallen except in the most obscure places. But the bottom line is its goal was to make everybody be poor and have to depend on the state for their existence. There were no choices here, okay? Now socialism is a slight state above that. There are some businesses, but the state controls who's allowed to be. It basically allows certain corporations to exist and the rest not to exist. And if you're using fascism as a form of socialism, then the state is actually running the corporations that are allowed to exist. Under socialism, that's not happening, but very few are allowed to do that. So there's no real freedom to move over to Q4. You can't get there from here. You can't jump across here. There is an elite that comes through this corporation or the government that's telling everybody else how to do things, where they're going to work, controlling where the money goes and all of that. But there's no real prosperity, okay, except for a few elite, which is what you see happening in the U.S. You actually see people moving from capitalism, and it's actually a backwards movement, and they need to catch on that that's wrong, because what happens in capitalism? Okay, everybody doesn't get rich, but it is not about greed. It's about opportunity. Under capitalism, everybody, there's the only time that there's this thing that they call classes under capitalism is in the minds of the politicians trying to force people to socialism and communism. They try to convince people that the classes exist. But if you look at it reality, if you treat your life as a life of opportunity, then there is no class in capitalism. And if you choose to apply yourself and create value for other people and continuously make your life about creating value, you get the opportunity to go over to the Q4, which is all about being the massive value creator, the massive wealth creator for others, the influencers, the shakers. But there's no class that makes that possible. And the proof is in, just look at who is there, all right? I mean, look, just even as far back as, well, you can even look at like presidents, right? You can look at Abraham Lincoln, for example. He was by no means part of the elite in the United States. By the definitions of socialism and communism, he could never have been their leader, all right? That couldn't have happened. But he was. All right. Now I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to talk about politically what actions any president took. So don't even go there with that. I'm talking about opportunity. All right. It doesn't mean that everybody under capitalism goes to opportunity. But they started over here because we're in a capitalistic society. They had the ability, if they go through even through a corporate world, if they apply themselves and influence in the right places, to at least get to a very steady state of self-dependence through a job, and even through a business that goes to a certain steady state is hanging out here in the capitalism. And then a few individuals who truly apply themselves as true value makers move into this total freedom, which is independent of any of these political states, okay? But that's the same thing that's happening, and that's what you're trying to do. But you're not necessarily trying to go from communism, socialism, to capitalism. You're trying to go from different levels of freedom in your life by moving through these quarters. But you actually have to pass through all of these because there will be failure. Failure is a part of things happening in your life. And so you will fall back through these. Ask anybody who's got to here whether or not they failed or not. That is part of it happening. But why did they get back here? Because they've been through here and they knew how to get there. They could actually shorten the route. But you ask them, they did not do it again. They did not skip these things. They just shortened. They took the inner circle. Okay, that's instead of using the outer circle, they were able to shorten the route and go through the inner circle. Okay, instead of having to go through a more lengthy route. The further out in the circle you follow, the path is longer, right? But once you've learned how to do it, the path gets a whole lot shorter, and that's what happens. But you have to apply yourself to do this. Nobody does this by not working, not applying themselves, not making connections, not interacting. They don't do it on their own. Nobody does it on their own. You have to do it. You have to work with somebody, all right? So maybe you're thinking this is all a bunch of gobbledygook and things like that. And if you do, then you probably aren't going to succeed. There's lots of things that have to be done in order for you to succeed. Many, many things, all right? So, there's things that are required. You need the website, right? You need the tools to make that website happen. You need things like autoresponders, right? You need to develop and engagement methods. These methods are any number of ways. Online, they can be email marketing. They can be pay-per-click campaigns. Offline, they could be mailing, direct mail. They can be attending meetings or attending gatherings. We'll just say gatherings, so you can classify just about anything under gatherings, all right? That's the kind of interaction that takes place. It could be phone calls, right? It could be a lot of things, but a lot of things have to happen. You just can't skip by all of these things and be rich, all right? You have to put these pieces together. You have to network, even if you aren't calling yourself a network marketing. You have to network. So you have to develop your network and your associations. You need associations. You need to know how to do that. You need to have help. You need to, and that's, that's the bottom line of what I'm offering you is, I am going to take you through all of these things. It doesn't matter how long you take or how fast you take. You join my organization, and I'm gonna. Whoops. I've probably shown you this in other places, but I'm going to give you massive training. If you will communicate with me in the methods we established with the group, I will help you personally. I will not do it for you. Okay? I have my own business to run. I have to run my business. You have to run your business. But I will provide you the tools, the guidance, and I will help you personally if you're putting the effort forth to make things happen. Okay? I will provide you exactly what I'm doing. I will show you how I map things out. It is something that you can duplicate, but only if you will do the work. I will not do the work for you. It's as simple as that. I have my own business to run. You are part of my business, and I'm going to guide you because, and the reason I'll do this without a coaching fee is because we're working in a network marketing scenario. So when you make money, I make money. And the same thing happens when the people you bring in make money, then you make money, right? And that's how it works. That's reality. There's no reason to hide that from anybody. If I help you, you make money, I make money. You help your team, as they grow, they make money, you make money, okay? It works like that. And if you're in markets, like I explained in the first two videos, then it's going to make a big difference for you. So you already know well, and if you didn't watch the first videos, you need to go back and watch the previous 2 lessons, okay? But you already know the markets I'm in, and let me remind you of that, okay? One moment. Okay, so 7-minute workout. Remember, these met the conditions I explained in the first video, how to choose your company, and this has high commissions. It's clear as to what it is you're selling, what you're doing for people, how you're going to help them. It's in a market that's constantly growing, so it has everything you want. And if you're on my team with 7-minute workout, I show you how you don't have to do any extra marketing to actually double your income, because we then leverage pure leverage within our team, and I can't explain it all here quickly because I can't show you, but pure leverage is the other one I work because, well, it meets all the same conditions. You know exactly what you're doing. You're providing the most useful tools that entrepreneurs need, and you're getting all of this amazing training right there. Plus, I give you, I'm going to literally all but hold your hand. I can't sit in your seat for you and do it for you, but if you're going to do the work, you're going to succeed on our team. Plus, it pays 100% commissions, just like 7-minute workout. And the commission structures are so identical. I actually get paid every single week now, okay? That's how this works. If you want to be on a team that grows and that can actually double your income because we're able to leverage 2 100% commission tools together, then you want to sign up with me. Now, of course, I've been telling you all along, you don't have to sign up with me. Of course you don't. But do remember this. Everything I've told you before this applies to any network marketing opportunity you're going with, okay? Remember that. It's very important. I didn't make this stuff up to get you to sign up with me. This is just reality. I want you to succeed. My goal in life is to I can't make you succeed, but make sure you have everything in front of you possible that is needed to succeed. You make you succeed by wanting to do it, by being serious to doing it, by treating it as a business and taking it and running with it. And I want you to run with it, damn it. And I hope you will. So please, I want you on my team. That way I can really help you. If you're doing a different business, I don't know the specifics of your business, so you'll have to figure out how to apply it on your own. But please, 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 be serious about doing it. Quit treating it. If you are, I hope you're not, but if you're one of the ones that were treating it as, I'm going to jump from Q1 to Q4, as you remember in that diagram, then you realize you should realize you need to stop doing that and get serious and treat this as a business. All right? So I appreciate your time and I look forward to working with you. I'll see you when you complete your sign up. Okay? Thanks a lot.